All right, hey guys, what's going on? Side Home Theater Dude, got a brand new episode for you today. I know what you're saying to yourself by now. You're probably thinking, hey, I've already seen this video, right? I've done two unboxings in the same type of room that I've done already. So I've done the 3700H and the Denon 6700H. This is the Denon 4700H. This is their brand new 8K AVR. All three of these are. And then what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a quick unboxing today. I'm going to let you guys know how it fits in the general scheme of things in between the 3700 as well as the 6700. We're going to go ahead and talk about all that. We'll do it right after the intro. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get in this unboxing. Oh. Congratulations, now it's time to experience quality sound. They're very proud of their products. All right, so let's go ahead and just talk about the back real quick. So over here, we're gonna have our Bluetooth Wi-Fi antenna, and then we're gonna have our digital ends. You have either the coax or your optical, and these are assignable, as you'll see right here. Your network end, we have 7 of your HDMIs right here on the back, right? And then you have 6 of them are full 4K, 18 gigabit, full shebang. You have 1 of them that is dedicated 8K, which is 48 gigabit, and that's just one of these. So it's not all of them, it's just one. So I've heard you guys in the comments on the other videos that I did of this one and this one right here. You guys were crapping on this unit. You're saying that I'm not gonna buy it until there's all these are 8K. There's not that many devices out there, so to kind of put that comment out there, it doesn't really make much sense because there's really only going to be 2 things coming out very shortly that are even capable of doing 8K. So if you do have dual devices that have 8K, a workaround is have one of those going directly to your display, right? Your second device is going to be an optical in, so you can assign this like I was talking about. So optical in, that way you'll be able to get your sound right down here from your 8K device. Over here, what you would do is you would, if you have a second device, you'd plug that one into here. And then that one would definitely power all your speakers. It would go through this device and then it would spit out your video right there. So that's the workaround with that if you have 2 devices right now. Or just wait till next year. They come out with these things every year, so they'll probably be 2 or maybe 3 next year. But besides that, you have 2 of your 8K or 2 of your 8K outs, like I was talking about before in the other videos. Anything with a polka dot is going to be an out. So this is an out, this is an out, but this is effectively your 8K HDMI out. Obviously you have another one over here. So if you wanted a second 8K TV going at the same time, you can do that. If you have like a showroom display or something, or just if you have a really cool living room, I don't know, I'm not gonna judge, but you have that ability right there. Your 4K Zone 2 is gonna be going out to your other room. So if you wanna be, playing your video games on your main area, you can do that here. And then if you wanted to, be doing jazzercise or something on the patio, you have that ability to do it here on your video. So that's an option for you as well. Over here, we're gonna have more or less of the traditional things. We have the standard antenna trigger in. So if you want this thing to turn on something else whenever this turns on, you do it that way. You just run a cable there. RS-232 which is for, whole home automation, things like that. Over here you have your remote control blasters, ins and outs. So if you want to have this thing tucked away in a closet, you're not going to see it, and you want to be using your remote right. Obviously this isn't the right remote for it, but if you want to be using a remote, because that's the remote for the 3700, then if the front of this thing isn't around to receive that signal, you can use a sensor to basically extend that front plate and make it, you can make it wherever you want. So that's the way you can control it that way. You have your phono in, which has your ground, your phono ends. You have a lot of the old tried and true things. So if you have, a DVD player or maybe even like a cassette player, you can attach it here. We have our video ends, which is more along the lines of legacy type of connections. A lot of people don't have these things anymore. So I'm guessing the reason why you're buying this is because you're just setting these things up on the top. The HDMI is really simple. But if you have a TiVo, you could still do your TiVo ins, TiVo outs, whatever it may be, your component ins and outs. You have your zones out here. And also you have, this is the biggest area that most people are going to care about, right? So right here is going to be your ability to do your preamplifiers. So like I was talking about before, the reason why people like to go it's like a progression of things. You can just use this as a standard unit, as an AVR, or you can use it as a preamp processor. So, and then effectively you're turning your system, which is your AVR, into separates, because you can internally turn off your amplifiers on this thing. So effectively, you can turn this AVR into a processor because you're chopping off those internal amplifiers. It doesn't, necessarily cloud or put anything into the signal, so that way, whenever you use these things, you use an RCA on your right and left, you connect it to a channel. Obviously, you're going to be connecting all of these, which you have to consider the cost of buying, the cabling, also the amplifiers to go along with it. But you get a better overall signal. Is it seen? I haven't seen it. It's a cool feature that just came out this year for this one, which is the 4700, and this one down here, which is the 6700. I haven't read that you have the ability to do it on the 3700, but I think that's why it's kind of like a good, better, best type of scenario. So it could just be one of those things as well. Additionally, like I was talking about before, another thing that you can do is with the 4700 and the 6700 down here, you can use them with dual Odyssey type of calibrations. You can save 2 different calibrations in here at a time, which is really cool. So if you have just, your captain's chair, you're not really entertaining some guests, you want it to sound good specifically at your main listening position, then you can kind of like hone in on that sound and really make it sound good. And then if you have guests over, like I saw on the on Sound United, whenever they did this video, that they were talking about how he has a big old, window, obviously windows and glass and painted paintings, like canvas paintings. It's bad for acoustics. So if you, have that type of ability, you can change the overall soundscape on this thing. So you can do 2 different calibrations, save it 2 different ways, and then you can pick and choose whichever one is going. I just started with the back, so what I want to do is show you guys the front, because that's probably what you guys are going to be looking at anyways. So let's go ahead and show you guys that. All right, so brand new 8K for 2020. This is the Denon 4700. Obviously, you have a lot of the same controls that you're used to down here. We have our zone controls. We have our status. This basically replaces your remote with your little selector wheel. Info, option, setup, back, and a clockwise motion. And then you have these quick select buttons as well as on your remote. So that way, it just sets it to your right settings, right volumes, and you can save it that way. Over here, we have our USB in, which is good for updates and different things like that. You're not supposed to use it to charge your cell phone, which it says right there on the box. You have an additional 4K HDMI in here, and these are 4K HD CP 2.3. And then you have your setup mic, which is where your Odyssey is going to go, and a dedicated jack for your headphones. Okay, so let's talk about this. This is the Denon 3700, the Denon 4700, Denon 6700 right over there, right? So all of these have in common, they all have the brand new 8K HDMI boards on there. It's going to give you the dynamic HDR as well as HDR10 Plus. So if you guys are Samsung users and you don't necessarily care about Dolby Vision, you have that ability baked in there now too. And then additionally to that, you are going to have some of the more premium features, which is going to be the Roon tested. I don't understand why that's such a big thing that's being advertised nowadays. I saw an email blast from Macintosh as well that everything is Roon tested and Roon approved. Basically what it boils down to is just very simple. Like it's almost the same stuff that you can get on Pandora whenever you're listening to it. You look up artwork, you can see the artist bios, you can look up who produced the song, and you can basically search things along that realm. So if you like that producer, you like his tracks, you can check out more things by him. So it's more or less kind of like a networking type thing for music. So if you can hone in on something you like, you can see other artists as well. Besides that, you're going to have your 8K abilities, which is probably going to be the reason why you guys are buying this thing. They're not advertising that you're going to be able to get better audio or better video out of this if you're just using standard 4K. But there is a theory, so obviously it's not advertised. But you have the 8K abilities, you have HDR10 Plus, you have the dynamic HDR, which is a cool feature as well. You have all your 8K things like variable refresh rate, auto low latency mode, and stuff like that, which is going to help you out, especially with gaming. All of these are high-res audio certified, so if you really want to listen to some really critical listening stuff, I'd probably recommend going with these two over here. Obviously, there's Tidal right there on the front, and Amazon Music, but Tidal is a more premium type of streaming service. Some people don't like it, but it has the ability to do that. And whenever I used this with the Tidal app, which is on your laptop, it basically gives you a lot higher quality than what you would see over a CD. So you can even, if artists have the master files out there, which is a ton of bandwidth for audio fidelity, you can actually appreciate that on these two over here. Okay, so let's talk about what makes these things different. So it basically goes in a couple different ways. So I'm just gonna go, wave by wave. Here we have IMAX Enhanced. Here we have IMAX Enhanced plus Aura 3D. Aura 3D is probably easily one of my favorite codecs to listen to things in. It really brings a nice level of dynamics and tone and livelihood to just even normal tracks that were mixed in 5.1 or maybe even like 2.0. It really makes everything sound nice, and it'll play through all your speakers all at the same time. So that's really cool. Over here we have the Denon 4700. That one has IMAX Enhanced, Aura 3D, and DTSX Pro. The reason why it has DTSX Pro, and both of these have DTSX, is that DTSX only is available up to 11 channels. DTSX Pro is past 11 channels. So this one has 11 channels internal amplification. And if you want to, you can hook up an external amplifier and run 13 channels with this one. And then you'll be able to use that DTSX Pro. So that's the biggest thing there. But that's what I've noticed on the 3700, 4700, and 6700. So what I'm gonna do now is just go and show you guys a quick overview of the back of these things. Obviously, another feature that you guys will notice is that both of these are flip down screens. 3700 is not. You can't flip this down. It has an HDMI on the front. This one does not. So that's one thing to do. I think retail on this one's $11.99. Retail on this one is $16.99, and this one is $24.99. It could be $25.99. Either ways, that's the general realm of prices on these things. These are US dollars, so I don't know what it is in your specific country. I'm just talking about what it is here. So I'm gonna show you guys the back of these things just to show you a real quick brief overview, and I'll go ahead and finish up this video for you. All right, so I just went ahead and got these things flipped around for you. We're checking out the booty of the 3700, 4700, 6700 over there. So like I was talking about, made in Vietnam, made in Japan. You'll see that the speaker terminals are similar on both of these. The layout is similar on both of these. This one down here is a little more premium. You have obviously these gold tipped RCA connectors, and then you have these more premium type of speaker connectors down here. And just feeling them, they have a little knurling on them, which is really cool. And then they don't seem to budge. These don't either. All right, guys, I think that's going to conclude the unboxing video of the Denon 4700. I'm going to do some quick comparisons in between all three, and then maybe there will be like a difference in audio or difference in video. There may be, there may not be, but I just wanted to go ahead and do that test while I have them all here, and then hopefully I'll be able to get just specifically one of these older versions in the house and then do the same thing. So you guys know I'm science-based, and I like to do, testing and whatnot. You guys may question the methodology, but I mean, a lot of these times the tests are just very, very simple. So I'm just seeing if there is a difference or if there's not, and then you guys can refute that all you want in the comments, and I'll probably saddle up and ride with you guys on that one. Well, I think that's gonna be it, guys. Just real quick, I wanted to shout out to all of you that are watching these videos. 50,000 subscribers. I mean, it's just nuts that it's gone to this point. And I started this channel, a little bit over 2 years ago, and it's just grown into a massive type of business. And I really appreciate you guys for watching, video after video. If you guys are new, really appreciate you guys for watching as well. It doesn't matter if you've watched since the beginning, you're day one, or if you just tuned in today. I really appreciate it, guys. Well, all right, guys, I think that's it. So if you guys want to buy into these, I'm going to go ahead and leave links down in the description. You guys can call up my buddies over at Dream Media. You guys are tired of paying big box store prices, go ahead and give them a call. You guys will be able to get, incredible pricing as well. So besides that, I think I'm done with the video. Try to make this one a little shorter than the others. I know that they got closer to the 30-minute mark. So really appreciate you guys for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell, notifications bell, right? And then select all. It really helps me get these videos out to you guys as soon as they come out. And I really appreciate you guys so much for watching. Thank you, and I'll catch you on the next one.